Okay, welcome to Berkeley Laughs, everybody. We got we got 5 comedians and 2 lovely audience members. I'm really glad that I put the sock in my tight jeans tonight because they're beautiful women tonight here. Why are you looking? You looked. I saw that. I say sock in my jeans and you look. That's a bad sign. Nez, did you bring this guy in? Okay. So let's start with the comedians. Well, no, I'm gonna talk about something first. I'm very happy to see none of our comedians have beards here tonight because it's a new trend among men that is just not fair. Because it's not fair to women because the women are watching us. They won't admit it, but they are. And we're growing. All the guys are growing these beards, and they're at home and they're trimming and Brazilian stuff and waxing and doing all this painful shit for us. And they're looking at us and saying, why you won't even shave your face and I'm shaving everything else for you, and pretty soon they're just going to let everything grow, and every time a sexual encounter is going to be like a Indiana Jones where we're going to be hacking with like a machete to get to the jewel. So no beards, guys. Don't grow beards. That's my little bit. And our first comedian is Nez. Nez.
Hello, John. That's a nice hat. Please don't. You guys like my white guy? Like I did my white guy. I'm not a white guy. I'm a black man. Prove it. If I pull my joint out, this whole place will be blacker than what it is now. See how he didn't laugh because he's like, yes, and then the white guys are like, really? So, all right. Let's not turn this into like Caitlyn Jenner. You can't talk about that stuff now, though. You can't talk about the Trans Ams. You can't talk about them. You can't talk about them people. I think it's funny though. I mean, it's funny to me, you know. Because I mean, like, what man? Like, let me rephrase that. It's just starting a whole new trend. You know what I mean? Like we got men telling women they should think like us. That is the worst thing you can ever tell a woman, because some men, we don't even change our underwear every day. You know what I mean? Like, who wants a woman to be like that? You know what I'm saying? Who wants a woman? Baby, did you wear those yesterday? No. Yeah, you did. You did. Yeah. You know, I had them around my neck last night. No, you can't do that. We don't flush the toilet. We don't wash our hands after we pee. You don't want no woman. You don't want a woman like that. You don't. I know I don't. I'm single now. I don't know if anyone remembers. I'm gonna tell my business because that's what comedians do. They share their pain. You probably see. I probably bought it here before. You probably seen the bitch. And treacherous motherfucker. Today's her birthday. I said MF. Yeah, it's her birthday. And I don't like wish death on people, but I do hope she falls down about 7 stairs. You know what I'm saying? And I mean the metal ones. You know what I mean? With the cement ones with the metal on the edge. Yeah. Huh? Nah, man. This ain't no. I don't damn escalator. Because then she'll get scratched. No, see, escalators are just. No, see, it's like project stairs. You know what I'm talking about? Like them hard stairs. And then like she falling and like she like even if she could fall and like flip up and be like, whew, like what the hell happened? You know? Like you know what I'm saying? Like one of those. Yeah. You know, and then like a bird and like a bird or something will fly past my face and be on it, be like, fuck you, you know. No. I'm trying to I am like really trying to date again. Like I really am trying, you know, because my brother's like, yeah, Nez, go talk to her. And I'm like, I don't know what to say because I don't have a what do people call a governor? You know, I don't say things like, "Hey, can I suck your titties?" I don't say that like exactly. I don't say it like, you know, boom. But I need you to finish my fucking jokes, John. Enjoy the fucking show. Jesus, right away. Stop it. You're not in my head. I wouldn't wear that fucking hat. No, I wouldn't. All right. I shave my head early. I shave my head every 2 days. I got grays and stuff. Let me get back to what I was saying, man. I'm working on my shit. I'm going to be famous. Maybe not doing here, but I'm going to be famous. All right? I forget what I was talking about fucking with you. What was I talking about? Bitches. Ignorant, treacherous bitches. Yeah, okay, yeah. So like getting back into the dating scene. Like it's just, I don't know. Like I don't like I'm not rude. You know what I mean? Like I'm not rude, but my brain and my dick are like saying like they don't converse well. You know what I'm saying? Like my dick will say, "All right, she's not that ugly," and then my brain is like, "You're crazy." You know what I mean? So it's like it's this bad thing. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to find a nice woman. You know what I mean? Like a woman that'll fart and say "excuse me," but really don't mean excuse me. Like that's the type of woman I want. You know, like, oh, excuse me, and then I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, she'd be like, fuck you. You know. Then I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I don't think I'm ready because I don't want to like bring like bad shit in the relationship. You know, I don't want to be like, oh, you know, you cheated on me. Like, motherfucker, this is our first date. Like, oh shit, you know. Yeah, the bitch cheated on me. And she got married. She cheated on me and married the guy she cheated on me with. Fuck them stairs. I would hope a plane hits their house. Like a Hindenburg hit that motherfucker. Never mind. Yeah, but I don't want to talk about Caitlyn Jenner or Kardashians or Satan or shit like that. No, I just want, life is good, man. I think I'm going to start doing drugs again. Yeah, like I'm happy now. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy. Like I'm happy enough to smoke weed. You know? Yeah, I know you'd be happy with that, you know? Because when you're in a bad place, you can't just smoke weed and think it's going to be all good because you'll be smoking weed and be like, my life is so terrible. You know, when you're supposed to be like, you know, like, where's the chips? You know, and it is like Simpsons on or something. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just be smoking and your life is just be going to flash in front of your eyes. And you're just like, everything's so terrible. And, oh, my God, look at my room. It's a mess and my job sucks. You're not supposed to be doing that when you're high. You're supposed to be like, hand me the Funyuns and turn on porn tube. You know. Is that just me? Okay, a couple guys laughed. No, you don't do that? You don't masturbate? Lying, motherfucker. People need to stop lying. It's 2015. Everyone masturbates. And fellas, if you meet a woman that says you don't masturbate, push her. Like, don't push her hard, but push her so that she falls. You know what I mean? Like, just push her. You know, like, get out of here. It's stupid. Everyone masturbates, okay? Everybody. Supposed to. That's how you stop from fucking the wrong person. No, man. You know, I try to as much as I can. You know, it gets a little boring sometimes. People say, you know, I've heard so many things, different things you can do, and I don't know. Nothing beats the real thing, right, fellas? Real thing, right? Woo! Everyone's like, no. Your hand's better, huh? See, once again, right. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm working 2 jobs, so I can take one girl on a date, you know. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm talking to a nice young lady now, and it's funny because my brother's here, and I was like, showed him the picture. I was like, what do you think? And he's like, she looks good. I'm like, you think so? And he's like, yeah, well, stop being a bitch. And then I was like, I'm not being a bitch. And then we start arguing. But we don't argue. It's my brother. Like, we don't argue. Like, he's right here. He'll tell you, we don't argue. You know what we argue about? We argue about if Tom Brady sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, we're brothers. We don't argue about real shit. You know what I mean? I'm like, you think so? And he's like, yeah, go talk to her. I text her and shit. That's what you do. I text ladies, you know what I mean? You text them. And I'm like, how are you? I would say, I send her the good morning text. Like I feel like, you know, people like, women are like, oh, why are you so thirsty? And I'm like, I'm not thirsty. I just drank some water. Like, I'm just trying to get some draws. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to get some pussy, you know. Have a conversation. I crave conversation. Like, I want a smart woman. Like, she likes hip hop. You get a woman who likes hip hop? She likes like Redman and shit like that. So she's on the level. All right, that's all I want to say. Just want to work out a few new jokes. I think they'll be okay. Got to work on them and shit. John, it was good to see you. Back to the man with the ugly hat. You're the man, John. I'm done. Come on, man. I'm done. As comedic etiquette, I got to like shake your hand and then walk off stage, remember?
I hope you all had a chance to check out his bracelets. He said he's not a bitch, but did you see his bracelets? He has a red one and a black one. Yeah. Are they cock rings? You just keep them on your wrist for when you need them? Yeah. So he was commenting about my hat. I'll explain my hat. It's a pan hat. See, it's got little horns. And I've got a pan hat because we have a virgin performing tonight. Not that kind of virgin. Not somebody that's never done comedy before. Your eyes got big. It's so funny that you can find a pervert in a crowd. All you have to do is say virgin. And they're like, start shifting. That was you, man. You don't know that I can't see you, do you? So then why were you giving me shit about not remembering you? I can't see you. How would I remember you if I don't see you? I can't see you. See, there's lights. Have you ever been on a stage? You can see me. The lights are on me. My pan hat? You like it? So, well, I haven't had sex in a while, but I'm not a virgin. But I might as well be. Well, I can't see you anyway. Speaking of not seen. Okay, our Sean McKenzie. Woo! Tried to keep it not too racial, okay?
Oh, well, now I wanna. As a comedian, you got. If you tell me not to, I wanna. But that was my plan. I'm gonna stick to my plan. I'm trying to be more positive as a comedian. I've realized so much of my stand-up is just me complaining about shit, and that's not how I want to live anymore. I'm trying to celebrate things. And more than that, I'm trying to celebrate the things that I used to complain about. I don't drive, for example. Don't even have a driver's license. Used to be a problem. No, I'm celebrating it. I'm celebrating it. Firstly, I live in the East Bay, and this is one of the few places in the country where you can get laid riding a bicycle. This is amazing. Most places in this country, you give a girl your number, she watches you ride away on a bike, she will not call that number. This is a magical place. I love it. The bus is great. You got to meet people from all different walks of life and shit. I was on the bus. I met a couple of flamboyantly gay Sikh dudes. Guys with the beards and the turbans. I met a guy with a hot pink turban. That's trying to tell you. I love it. It's amazing. All the crazies. I love the crazies on the bus. Conspiracy theories? Yes. All right, if somebody comes up to you with a conspiracy theory, don't get all skeptical and try to throw facts at it. Egg them on. Hear how crazy the second conspiracy theory is going to be. They only get better. So on the bus with this guy, and he did that like condescending, like he did this, like he's all, come on now, don't tell me you think that Obama was born in this country. And that's a boring conspiracy theory. I've heard the Kenny shit. I'm not interested. But I think that if I egg him on, he'll get to the next one. That'll be crazier. But it turns out I didn't even need to hear the next one, because the second thing out of his mouth was, I have never seen a more obvious Martian in my whole life. Yeah, I'm glad I talked to you, buddy. I love it. And if you don't want to talk to the crazy people, you just put the headphones in. It's like a little wall. Books don't work. Books... You can't, because crazy people don't understand books. Like, hey, what are you reading? That's not how it works. Can't do. I'm celebrating my anxiety. I love my anxiety. Used to be a big problem for me. Now I've realized having a problem with anxiety is fucking exciting. It is a thrill a minute. I have 30 full adrenaline rushes a day. I have never been bungee jumping. It's very exciting. I don't need to do any of that shit. Anytime somebody puts a camera on a helmet, I don't need to do that thing. There's no need for me to, I'm uninterested in the next part of the process. I feel like the reason that people do that, to be racial, mostly white people do that shit, is because we evolved as a species running away from predators, and so we're hardwired for that kind of adrenaline, and we don't have that anymore. We just look at our phones until we can go home and look at Netflix, and we're sad. That's why people do this stupid mountain bike parachuting garbage and whatnot. But I don't need to, because I still have predators. I have anxiety. You know? My lions and tigers are people in a crowded elevator that might think I'm breathing wrong. My grizzly bear is the guy that knocks on the bathroom door after it's too late to stop starting to take a dump. And to be racial just because he told me I shouldn't. And that's why largely black people don't do those stupid sports, is because they have predators too. They're called the police. What was I talking about next? Political correctness. Comedians are always complaining about political correctness. It's ridiculous. So it's not a problem. This is the golden age of free speech, man. This is the golden age. Shit was worse before political correctness. Back in the day, that's when you really couldn't say shit. Like in the 50s, a woman, for example, couldn't say something like, I'm a small business owner, or no. Just saying things are getting better, little by little. We're getting there. You know the problem with political correctness is? It's unevenly applied. Some people can't say shit. Some people can get away with murder, man. I was over in the city in San Francisco, Fisherman's Wharf, and they got the seals and the sea lions or whatever out there, just making fun of mentally handicapped kids all day long, and no one's saying shit to these guys. Just out there, it's not okay, seals. We got to draw a line. If you're offended, I'm on your side. What else am I celebrating that I used to complain about? I look like a wuss. It used to be a problem for me. Now I love it. I work as sort of like a handyman for TaskRabbit. I don't know if you guys are familiar. TaskRabbit. It's like Uber or Lyft, but for people that don't have cars. It's just like, I'll do whatever I can to not have a boss, man. Just give me that kind of job. I hated, even good bosses are the worst. Fuck, we're putting it on late. Fuck bosses. Bosses can go to hell, man. Are you a boss? Go to hell, man. Hate bosses. You might be a nice boss. Yeah, you can't fire me. I'm an independent contractor. I love it. You remember when that was a compliment? Like a boss? Like the asshole that ruins my Monday through Friday? That's what we're trying to be. I love TaskRabbit. But so the thing is that I show up and like the job says heavy lifting or fixing stuff, and then I show up and I get to watch men feel emasculated by me. It's great. I love it. People, I have to teach. I work mostly in San Francisco because that's where people, they really need help over there. A lot of special needs in San Francisco. And it's just, they're not real men. They're not real adults. I was in this guy's apartment. Sometimes I bring my tools, sometimes I don't. Depends on the job. And I was in this guy's apartment, and I didn't have my tools, and I said, hey, man, do you have a hammer? Because we need it. And he goes, oh, let me text my roommate. Wow. And then my grandparents came back from death and beat the hell out of him while calling him a commie, weakening this country. I love it. You should not be learning how to be a man from me. I don't have shoulders. Like, together. It's why the apocalypse is coming, man. The apocalypse is the end of the world. It's not going to be zombies or any religious shit out of Revelations. It's going to be some minor societal hiccup like a Great Depression that any previous generation could have handled, but we're all such a bunch of pussies that if we can't Google the answer, we're screwed, man. We're screwed. Keep thinking about my grandparents' generation, how much tougher they were than us, able to handle the stuff I see coming ahead of us. You know what I mean? The greatest generation. It's people that built America's infrastructure. They defeated the Nazis and kept Jews out of country clubs. Real goddamned Americans. I only mentioned that last bit to remind you that while our grandparents were heroes, they were racist, sexist, homophobic alcoholics. Every goddamn last one of them, man. I remember my grandpa picking me up from middle school. The talking GPS had just come out. You know, the British lady going, turn left ahead. And my grandma's elbowing him, Charles, it says to turn left ahead. And my grandpa just looks me in the back seat and goes, goddamn women and machines telling me what to do. What is this dark future? All right, guys, thank you very much. John Healy, Berkeley laughs. We're having fun.
I got to talk to you about meeting women on buses, man. Okay, we got our virgin, and then we're ready to go. And so be kind. He's a funny, he's a good guy. His name's Jeff Kimmich.
Hey, you guys. I'm going to use this little piece of paper. So yeah, this is my first time doing stand-up comedy, and thanks. Hey, I was gonna maybe try and lie about it, but you'd find out. So I went on this date with this girl in San Diego, and it wasn't super magical or anything, but we've been like texting afterward, and now it's kind of getting sweet and everything. And I was like, I'm doing some stand-up comedy later, and I'm really terrified. And then I sort of waited, and I sent another text that was like, crap my pants terrified. And then I waited and sent another little text, because I'm an actor sometimes. And I was like, I never told you the story about when I actually crapped my pants on stage. And it was horrible. It came out in these horrible like torrents of blood, and people were screaming and killing each other and dying. Everyone called the cops at the same time. Now the mayor knows my name. I'm like banned I'm a federal fugitive right now. And I have not heard from her since I sent that last part of the text. And it was something you said, I think. It's like, one day a girl's gonna love me for that story, and she's gonna be the one. So I live in Oakland, but I work in Berkeley, and I'm a white guy that has a couple black friends, and I tell myself that's okay because I also took an African American history class, so I'm good, right? So in Oakland, for white people, we've got hipsters, and in Berkeley, we've got hippies, right? So I live in Oakland, so I go to parties and stuff, and it's like the worst thing about hipsters is you can't actually ever say what you mean. Like I played the show, and I played a music show, and I asked this guy, I was like, did you like the show? And he was like, oh yeah, I loved the show. It was the best music I've ever heard. So I guess he hated it, but like, I don't know. I mean, fucker, seriously, fuck him. It's like, God. And that's like everywhere, it's just like, and I tried to be a hipster myself for a while, but I could not stand the way that skinny jeans made my balls feel. It's just like, oh, fuck, And like, it's cool when you're a hipster because you get to meet all these cool people and find out about music before anyone else and, amazing parties and stuff. But the whole time you're just kind of like, you can't even pay attention because it's just like the balls are just like, you're probably like rolling around and people are looking at them and stuff, I met this guy, Rex, and he was telling me about a little independent vinyl store that was built into a London underground station. And it sounded so great, and I'm like, I'm going to go to London just to see that, but I couldn't even pay attention because my balls are so squished, so I just left the freaking party, But hippies, let's talk about hippies for a second, okay? So here, a lot of times, this is Berkeley Community Media, and I actually work here. I get business cards from hippies, and they're like, the thing that it says they do is like, poet, dreamer, dancer, and I'm like, you're unemployed. It's like resource broker, like artist, marketing director, unemployed. They don't do anything at all. They just hand out the card, and they get the cards made, and that's it. Also here and in general, hippies, like, the hippies that like need you to get involved with their problems. Like, I know this girl Tina, and she's so sweet and everything, but she'll tell me these really long stories, and they start like this. They're like, oh my God, you're gonna hate it when I tell you this. And I'm like, okay, that's a wonderful beginning. I went to this, group sex party, and I'm like fucking Doug, and I look over, and Steve is fucking Amy. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Steve? And he's like, I'm fucking Amy, what the hell, you're Doug, And so he walks out the door, she's still talking, this is her talking here. And I follow him home, and I break into his house, and he doesn't like that so much. And she's like, Jeff, that's my name. Jeff knows I'm a good guy. And so she gives him my address, because he's coming over tomorrow night to find out if she's a good person or not. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of weird. And like, I don't know about that. No, it's kind of, it's like, oh, because he doesn't believe in phones, so he has to come over. And like, he's coming over. I can't get a hold of him and tell him not to. It's like, great. And I'm like, yeah, she's a really great person. You should fuck her. What's that? Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is like, when you get really embarrassed or shamed when you conduct a transaction somewhere, like it's usually late at night, you go to a convenience store and your order is like a hot dog and some toilet paper and some like Tylenol and some tampons, and the person working there is just like, either they're like really disgusted or they're like, oh, I bet you're going to have some fun tonight, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to a sex party with Tina and Doug and stuff. Or the bank. The bank is the king of it all for me. Somebody mentioned the bank. You mentioned the bank, I think. But I go into the bank. I lose my ATM card all the time. It's all largely to do with going to bars. I lost my ATM card, and I went to a bar, and the guy that's working there is staring at a screen, right? Of course, I can't see. And he's like, oh, you've had a lot of ATM cards this year. And I'm just like, fuck, how do I kill this guy with all these fucking security cameras on, right? Because like nobody needs to know, including me, how many ATM cards that I've had. God. And then he's like, so when did you lose it? And I'm like, I don't know, I just didn't come home with it. He's like, well, it says at 1:45 a.m. here you charged 6 wine coolers, 6 tequila shots, 6 Coronas at a place called the Tropical Explosion Pit, the Tropical Explosion Love Pit. And I'm like, yeah, that was me, I guess, Yeah, I get to go out sometimes. And he's like, that sounds like a really fun party, man. And I'm like, yeah, that was actually just me. And so like I leave, and I finally got the ATM card. I should have withdrawn some money on the way out. And I go to the ATM, and I put the ATM, and even the ATM is fucking judgmental, It's like you put it in, and you just want the money, and it's like, do you want to check your balance? And I'm like, no, I do not want to know how much fucking money is in there, right? They don't want to know. That's all I have for this time. Thanks, you guys, for making this pretty easy. Thanks, John.
Pretty good for a virgin, huh? Wish we all had that good of an experience first time, huh? That's the end of the show. Thank you all for coming. Check in next month. You too. Group photo.